Hey guys, MaxLPQueen here, and welcome back to some more Pokemon Emerald Randomizer Nuzlocke Speedrun. In the last episode, we defeated the final gym leader, Juan, and we got our 8th gym badge, and then we made our way up to Evergrande City. We also made our way through the Victory Road, and we didn't make our way through the Victory Road, but we we defeated Wally. That's what I was trying to say. But anyway, I got Shuckle and took Shuckle and put Shuckle on our team. Unfortunately, because we have to have Strength, Flash, and Rock Smash, I ended up watching a video to try and figure out how to get through the Victory Road, so I know exactly how to get through. Basically, this is going to be kind of a short episode because I'm only going to be concerned with getting through the Victory Road. Not going to be exploring, not going to be doing anything like that. I just want to get through it. That's all I'm worried about. Because I hate things like this. The Victory Road is actually one of the reasons why I never defeated the Elite Four in the original games, because I hate using Flash and I hate using Rock Smash. I think they're two pointless moves and they should be TMs and not HMs. But unfortunately everything was HMs in this game, so went ahead and got Shuckle out of the death box. We're not going to use it, of course, you guys know that. But I'm just going to use it for the Flash, Rock Smash, and Strength. I don't actually know who I took out besides, who I took out to replace with Shuckle, but it doesn't really matter because I think I took out our highest level anyway to use Shuckle, just until we get out of the Victory Road, and then in the next episode, we'll start out with a grinding montage, and we will grind everyone up before we take on the Elite Four. So a lot's gonna happen in this episode. Well, not a lot, but some pretty emotional things for me that is going to happen in this episode. You'll just have to keep watching. I probably won't catch it whenever it happens because I do have a little article here that we can read on while we are watching the Victory Road journey that I am taking. If you're a little confused, on which game to buy, this article here on Kotaku.com is going to help you out. Pokemon Omega Ruby versus Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Which to buy? The new Pokemon games are good. You should play them, if you can. The question is, which game should you pick? Pokemon is unique in that if you want to play it, you always have a choice between two different versions of the same game. Typically the versions are denoted by colors or stones, red and blue, black and white, and so on. Traditionally, each version has creatures that the other version doesn't. This encourages people to play with friends, since that's an easy way to swap version-exclusive Pokemon. Choose a color. The first thing to consider might seem kind of silly, but it's really important. Which color do you like better? I'm partial to red, of course, so that's why I went with Ruby. And of course, I went with Ruby as well. Don't worry about Megastones. Right now, as far as I can tell, after comparing notes with people who have played Sapphire, both versions of the game have the same Megastones. Those items that let select Pokemon undergo a special stat-boosting transformation. That is to say, there are no version-specific Mega Stones. I've even found stones for each of the two Pokemon versions, the two versions for the same Pokemon, like both Mewtwo X and Mewtwo Y in my copy of Ruby. Even so, you'll still have to do the work to find the stones, of course, and for that, I'll direct you to my tips piece, which drops later today. Okay? Apparently, if you want to do that, you can go to that website and look for that. Next is the Pokemon. Beyond that, the major differences in versions have to do with the Pokemon. As far as I can tell, the differences are the exact same as they are in the original games, plus a few additions. So to give you a list of Pokemon, in Ruby, you can obtain Seedot, Nuzleaf, Shiftry, Mawile, Zangoose, Solrock, Ho-Oh, Palkia, Tornadus, Reshiram, Skrelp, and Dragoleg. In Sapphire, you can obtain Lotad, Lombre, Ludicolo, Sableye, Seviper, Lunatone, Lugia, Dialga, Thundurus, and Zekrom. A fun fact, some of these Pokemon have the sort of lore that supports the rivalry that comes with having two versions of Pokemon. You may not know this, but there is totally some trivialism and pride that comes with picking a version. And so it may not surprise you to hear that certain Pokemon that I just listed have rivalries with each other too. Zangoose and Seviper are said to be an and eternal feud, according to pretty much every Pokédex entry on them. Personally though, I think Ruby's Zangoose picture looks better and a lot cooler than Sapphire's Sevapor picture. But that might just be me. You can make up your mind here. Obviously, going back to what I was saying before, another pair of Pokemon that riff off the two versions are Lunatone and Solrock. They're shaped like a moon and the sun, respectively. The legendaries and the villains who want to revive them. Legendary-wise, you have two major considerations. If you pick up Omega Ruby, you get Groudon, along with Groudon's primal reversion form. Normal Groudon is a ground Pokemon, as the name suggests. It has the Drought ability and it can expand the landmass. Groudon also has a special ground type move that only it can learn. Precipice Blade. When it changes into Primal Groudon, it becomes both ground fire type, gains the Desolate Land ability, which makes the sunlight turn harsh. Mechanically, what this means is that moves like Rain Dance, Sunny Day, Sandstorm, and Hail won't work, nor will abilities like Drizzle, Drought, Sandstream, and Snow Warning. Really, in general, water moves, the thing that Groudon would normally be weak to, become ineffective against Primal Groudon. Groudon appears in Ruby because of Team Magma. If you pick Ruby, Team Magma will be the major villain that you will have to deal with. What's their evil plan? Well, they want to increase the landmass. That's where Groudon comes in. Team Magma foolishly believes that more land will somehow enable humanity to make more progress, completely ignoring the fact that water is kind of more important than land. But they wouldn't really be a supervillain if they were sensible, now would they? On the other side is Team Aqua. Frankly, Team Aqua is the more charming team. They're pirates, for crying out loud. Their leader Archie seems like a cool guy to hang out with. You know, aside from the whole wants to increase the size of the ocean thing, which is Alpha Sapphire's plot, should you pick that one up. But it's easier to be empathetic with this ridiculous plan since Archie wants to bring back the Pokemon habitats destroyed by humanity. I can almost get on board with that. In any case, Team Aqua plans to achieve the goal with the help of Kyogre, the legendary Pokemon you can capture in Alpha Sapphire. Kyogre can turn into Primal Kyogre, and Kyogre is a water-type Pokemon that has the ability Drizzle. It can learn the move Origin Pulse as well as transform into Primal Kyogre. Once it does, Primal Kyogre's special attack becomes boosted and it gains a special ability called Primordial Sea. This ability makes the battle come under a heavy rain, and this heavy rain makes moves like Rain Dance, Sunny Day, and Sandstream, as well as abilities such as Drizzle, Drought, and Sandstream, and Snow Warning also fail. As you might expect, all this means that fire moves can't do diddly squat against Kyogre. The other two legendaries you have to take into consideration are Latias and Latios. For these Pokemon, you'll get the color opposites of the version you pick. So if you get Ruby, you'll have Latios, the blue one, and if you get Sapphire, you'll get Latias, the red one. These Pokemon can Mega Evolve. I'd say choosing between Latias and Latios is more important than choosing between Groudon and Kyogre. That's because Latias and Latios are the Pokemon you'll get a chance to fly around on in Hoenn. So pick wisely. And there you have it. Those are the big differences between Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, as far as we know right now. The two other big legendaries, Rayquaza and Deoxys, will be available on both versions, so don't worry about that. It's worth noting that this article doesn't list the version-exclusive legendaries that you'll find while using the Eon Flute because there's just not enough information floating around about what Pokemon are in which game yet. We'll update this article as soon as we know. From now on, we can say is regardless of which version you pick, you're going to have more legendaries than you know what to do with, because it's possible to collect every legendary in the franchise thus far between both versions. Play with a friend. Finally, I'll note that while it's easy to criticize the whole two versions thing as just a business move meant to sell more copies of what is essentially the same game, I actually found some merit to the idea of playing through ORAS. I played Pokemon alongside a friend this time around. She played Alpha Sapphire and I played through Omega Ruby. We both started at the same time, with the goal of beating it around the same time frame. Let me tell you, it changed my experience completely. Having someone to compare notes with, trade Pokemon with while you sit next to them making jokes and playing Pokemon made it way better. we'd do things like catch Pokemon with explicit purpose of gifting them to each other. We'd trade Pokemon with jokey names, and we helped each other with hidden Megastones. We also helped each other with the Pokemon that our versions lacked, meaning it was easier to fill up our Pokedex. So if you have the ability to do it, I suggest that whatever version you pick up, you try to get a friend to pick up the other version with you. So there you have it. That is the article, and that's a little bit of help for you guys if you're still confused on which version you want to play. So back to the game itself. Unfortunately, you guys saw that we did lose our Lunatone, and I was very upset with that because Lunatone's pretty much been with us through the entire game. So I was really upset about that, and I really don't have anyone to replace Lunatone with at this point that would be of much help to us. Unfortunately though, we had to lose our Lunatone. But anyway, hope that article helped you guys out a lot to figure out which game you would want to pick up if you haven't already done so. I personally have both games, and I am playing Alpha Sapphire. My boyfriend is playing Omega Ruby, and it is a lot funner when you play with two people on two different games, because you can give them certain Pokemon that they don't have, which is what we're doing right now. He's given me some Seedots, and I've given him, I believe, Lotads and stuff like that, so it's just really cool to be able to trade over Pokemon from different games. But anyway, we finally made it. We made it through the victory road, and we finally made it to the Pokemon League. But unfortunately, it's a sad day because we have to put our Lunatone into the death box, who's been with us for the longest time. Shuck was going back in as well, and so is Lunatone. I'm sorry, buddy. You were level 42. I really would have loved to use you. So I thought about who I was going to put on our team to use, and I wasn't too sure who to use, so I decided we probably should go with the Shuppet, because the Shuppet would be the best coverage, I guess, for us. I don't know. All the other ones were just way too low levels, so I thought let's go ahead and train up Shuppet. So in the next episode, we'll start out with a grinding montage, and then we'll take on the Elite Four, and we'll pretty much be almost done with this series. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of our Pokemon Emerald Randomizer Nuzlocke Speedrun.